So you like meal prepping, but you don't want to spend hours in the kitchen, right? And honestly, the process can be pretty exhausting sometimes. I've been there, I hear you, and today I'm going to share 10 things to make meal prep easier, faster, and more fun. Let's get to it. Hey there, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Talia, founder of Workweek Lunch, and I'm a meal prep expert. I've been meal prepping for over 5 years now, and these are the 10 tips and tricks that really make a difference when it comes to how fast I get my meal prep done and how much fun I have. So let's get into it right away, right off the bat. The first tip I have is to choose easy meals. This is not the time to make a 4-hour long project of a recipe. Choose the quick recipes. Meals that take like 30 to 40 minutes is a sweet spot, and get them all done in an afternoon. Instead of trying to do these like labor of love meals, I'm talking about, soups that need to simmer for like a day. I don't know. I mean, it sounds kind of hands off, but still, you want to make things that require not that much attention and not that much prep and not that much cooking, which happens to be pretty much all of the recipes in the Workweek Lunch meal prep program. You do have to actually cook, and we require a certain level of being able to cook, but all the recipes can pretty much be made in 40 minutes or less. And we're very conservative about the time. Like, we really are kind of saying that on the high end of how much time we think it would take to make these recipes based on how much time it takes us to make the recipes. So choose easy meals. Choose recipes you're familiar with. If you know how to make pasta, but change up the vegetables. If you know how to make a sheet pan meal, change up the protein and carbs, change up the flavors. Choose the templates that you know and love, and meal prep will be a lot easier for you. In the description, we'll link a bunch of easy resources for like our fastest meals that require very minimal cooking. We actually did a video a few weeks ago with 3 zero cooking meal ideas, so you should check that out. So that's tip number 1. Number 2, start with an empty sink and dishwasher. Seems pretty obvious, but a lot of us don't do it. That's the first thing I do when I'm about to start meal prepping, is emptying that sink and dishwasher to make sure I have a clean slate. And it makes a huge difference at the end when you're ready to clean up. You just load up the dishwasher or wash all the dishes in the sink and you're good to go. You don't want to give yourself extra work, Get it done before you start. Tip number 3 is a little bit more advanced, but I encourage you to try it because this will help you level up in your meal prep a lot. Make a prep plan before you start cooking. So that means looking at your recipes, give them a quick glance. So many people don't do this, but I'm telling you, it'll save you so much time. Look at them really quickly just to see what is involved. Is there oven stuff? Is there stove stuff? Is there like marinating? What's going on in these recipes? Then you can make a plan of action that will allow you to multitask. I know it's hard to see, but this is the plan I made yesterday. So I wrote the meal and some ingredients, which you can't really read in my chicken scratch. And I wrote the number of the order that I was gonna do them in. And this actually worked out really well. And I got my meal prep done way earlier than I thought I would. So having the whiteboard helps, but you don't have to do it on a whiteboard. You could totally do it on a piece of paper, phone, whatever works. For example, if I have something to marinate and also to bake in the oven, I'm going to, start the marinating first, then get some stuff in the oven, then do the stove meal. And you can, again, if you think ahead, you can plot out your prep day based on what needs to be done and when. It'll go by a lot faster. And again, it takes practice, but you can do it. I'm challenging you to do it. If you have any questions about the meal prep plan thing, drop them in the comments. I'm happy to go into this in more detail. If you want to hear more about it, let me know. We can make a whole other video about how to make a meal prep plan. Okay, so tip number, are we on 5, I think? 4, 5? 4 is use the same pan and wash it between meals. So this is something I do a lot, or not even just pan, any utensil. So, the other day I used a bowl, and instead of grabbing another bowl from the cabinet, I just wash it out quickly and use it again. I do this a lot with pans on the stove because it cuts down on the amount of things I'll have to clean at the end of the prep day. So again, just a little quick rinse, a little paper towel, a sponge in there, you're good to go. It'll save you a lot of time on cleanup. Oh, we have to go back. This one comes a little sooner in the prep process, but tip number 5 would be defrost meat ahead of time. Very simple, and I usually do it while I'm emptying the dishwasher and dealing with the sink. So I'll take the meat out of the freezer, I'll put it in a bowl of cold or warm water depending on how much time I have, and it will defrost while I'm cleaning up, getting the kitchen ready and chopping my ingredients. By the time I'm ready to cook, that will be defrosted. Of course, this depends on the size of the package. If it's like 2 pounds of meat, it's gonna take a little longer. If it's just like a fillet of salmon, it'll take like 20 minutes. So yeah, don't forget to do that. It'll make it a lot smoother. Ideally, if we were all like amazing people, we would take out the meat the night before, but no one ever remembers to do that. I mean, I don't. Do you? I don't. We all are amazing people, even if we don't remember to take out the meat. Just, yeah. Tip number around 6, I think, I don't know, I lost count, is use convenience ingredients. There is nothing wrong with frozen vegetables, canned goods, pre-made stuff, pre-chopped stuff. If it's gonna make your prep faster and easier for you, do it. If you can afford it, if it's in your budget, please just do it. Make your life easier. It's so much better to just have a smooth process. I use canned goods. People always DM me like, why are you using canned stuff? It's cheaper to use dried beans and to cook them from dry and everything. And I just don't have time to do that. I don't want to make time for that in my schedule. I'm happy to use canned beans, even if it's a little bit more expensive. Take breaks. This tip is about taking breaks. So I would say about 2 or 3 hours into my meal prep, if I'm doing like a 5-hour situation, for me, it takes that long because I have to photograph stuff, take notes, write recipes, film stories. It takes me a long time to do all that. But I usually sit down on the couch, put my feet up at some point in the session, and that's okay. Sometimes I will just leave the entire mess in the kitchen and go get lunch or go get a coffee. Take breaks. You don't have to power through. And if I'm really tired, I will just stop at a certain point and not finish all the meals I had planned. That's okay, I'll just do them the next day. It happens. Go with your energy level. Don't push yourself too hard because you'll be super exhausted. Tip number 8, and this is a fun one. Watch something, listen to something while you prep. This makes meal prep so much more fun. It makes it feel more like me time. You know, when you are listening to a podcast or an audiobook, watching a movie, it's so much better. Just listening to music. You know, we actually have a playlist, we'll link it in the description, that was built by our members. So everyone contributed songs. It's a pretty rad playlist. You should check it out on Spotify. I like to watch a movie when I'm chopping and prepping because it's like I'm standing in one place. But when I'm cooking and kind of having to walk around the kitchen, I'll switch over to an audiobook, podcast, or music. It makes a huge difference. I'm telling you, this is the time to like catch up on The Bachelorette or like whatever show you're watching. Anything easy to watch. You don't want to watch like Breaking Bad or something really like heady when you're meal prepping because you're not really paying full attention. So just keep that in mind. This is the time to watch those trashy reality TV shows. I'm telling you. All right, tip number 10. My favorite tip, the one that no one really thinks about. When you're done meal prepping, after you've chopped, you've cooked, maybe you've cleaned, get takeout for dinner. Do not cook again. Do not eat your meal preps because they're for the future. You know, get takeout. Go to a restaurant. Have someone else make food for you. You do not have to be in the kitchen after that. I'm serious. Takeout after meal prep is so satisfying. And then you have more to eat in the week. If you eat your meal preps the day you prep them, you're like kind of shortchanging yourself. So get takeout. I usually get sushi or tacos or a burger, and it feels so good to just not have to be in the kitchen. So these are the 10 tips. I hope that some of these tips jumped out at you and will make your meal prep easier. Again, this is a learning process. You're gonna find the system that works best for you, but I really hope that you implement some of these tips. Also, if you have tips that I didn't cover, please share them in the comments. I love that you guys help each other in the comments with meal prep, so keep that going. If you like this video, throw us a thumbs up and a subscribe, and we will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.